Hey guys, hope you're doing very well. Before you watch the fan cam, quick shout out to the sponsors, our partners, Foco. This is Foco gear. I've got a different Hawaiian shirt on today. Listen, this isn't all they have. They've got many different things. Any Chelsea merchandise that you can think of, click the link below or scan the QR code. Use the discount code cfctvyt in order to get a 15% discount off of all Foco gear. Enjoy the video, guys. Hello everyone from Chelsea Fan TV. My name's Alex. I'm outside Stamford Bridge today with Lewis. Mate, when we drew against Inter, obviously we didn't lose, it was a draw, but now's the real deal. And this is where we start having slightly more serious conversations. The time for, I won't say patience, but the time for practice is over. If we win, great. If we drop points, there's going to be questions, and there certainly will be today. We've lost 2-0 against Man City. How would you describe it?
Just City were the better team. At the end of it, I think that's what it comes down to. And like, obviously, I don't want to try and like drag positives out of this game, because ultimately it's 3 points dropped. Ultimately, we didn't play well, and that's it. Like, you can't sugarcoat that for anything else. What I will say is, though, we did just play the best team in England. We were always going to look a little bit rustier. Also, don't think the substitutions really help. I'm guessing fitness is playing a part with that as well. I ideally would have wanted to see Lavia play the whole 90 for he was our best midfielder. Interesting,
though, you talk about the subs. We didn't score, but I think that we took more control of the game when Lavia came off and Enzo went deeper, and then we had Dewsbury Hall and Neto as well, and Guiu.
I think Enzo was better because he was deeper, but the same way, like, Dewsbury Hall didn't really come in and have as much impact, in my opinion. And I think that's where like the attack kind of started to fizzle out. Although I say that, I feel like ourselves in the final third are our own worst enemy at times. Like, we just constantly like overthink, and I get we're playing slow, progressive football, so I understand it's going to be frustrating at times, especially when we don't have the lead, especially when we're behind by a goal. But we look like we just don't really know how to attack the final third. I feel like that's the one thing I got coming out of this game, and I guess I'll be sorted in the next coming weeks. I don't want to be making any brazy statements coming out of the first game of the season, especially against Man City. But as much as I think we're a bit better defensively, as we move the ball further up, we just look more and more sloppy. Yeah. That was the problem. I think Enzo further forward, it doesn't work. We've had that argument how many times last season. I felt like I was going crazy seeing him playing up top again.
Didn't take Maresca long to figure that out.
Yeah, and then he dropped him further back, which is nice. But like, if we're going to play that same setup, you got to drop one of the midfielders at least. Caicedo's better deeper. Lavia is much better deeper. Enzo's better deeper. They're not really as good further forward. Then we end up having to put Nkunku out into the left wing. He didn't look comfortable at all there. I would have rather we had taken Enzo off and we just put Nkunku in the middle, where he's a little bit better and he provides us with a bit of a goal threat. Jackson as well didn't look up to shape at all, but I'm not even surprised by that. He's had, what, 10, 15 minutes of pre-season football? No wonder. Like, I don't even know why we started him, in all honesty. He would have been better coming off the bench. But that's also why I don't look at this game, I'm not in panic mode. It's just, it's disappointing. It's not the result that we wanted. And there's areas to improve on, especially with our build-up play and our decisiveness in the final third. At least we're a bit better defensively.
You know, we talk about the defence, though. To have a good defence, usually what we find is if you've got a good goalkeeper, it just eases players in front of him up. They think, okay, I can trust the guy behind me. Doesn't seem like that's the case with Sanchez last season. And I think that he was at fault for the second goal. He released the ball too early, and then we ended up conceding Kovacic scoring again.
For me, it wasn't even specifically just losing the ball. It was his positioning when Kovacic shot. I watch it back, and the amount of space he leaves open on his near side. Like, you're asking Kovacic to have a shot from range. And even then, it's not just him. Caicedo and Enzo get walked through. Like, it was literally like Kovacic making a statement like, why'd you get rid of me for these two and all of that? And obviously I still believe in Caicedo. I still think Enzo's a good player and all of that. But he dunked on the pair of them for the goal. They've got to hold accountability for it as well. Just ultimately not good enough.
What do you make of Neto's debut?
Nice start. Faded out a little bit more towards the end. That's about it. That's about it. Like, it was just nice to see him come on. I think he would have been a better impact sub for us anyway. He hasn't had pre-season with the Chelsea team. He's just going there and figuring out as it goes along. So, yeah, off the bench, right move for us, but he didn't really offer enough for us either.
I think it's difficult though because City did sit back ever so slightly. So, you know, if they left a little bit more space in behind, I mean that's dreamland for him, right? That's what we saw with Wolves many times. He tore them to shreds. But once they went up, they just wanted to hold on to it.
Yep. And they knew as soon as they sit back as well, we're just going to overthink everything. Because we don't really understand the system as well as they do. They've been under Pep for, 7-8 years now? We're in our 5th or 6th game. It was going to be a baptism by fire regardless. Guess at least it's only 2-0, but it's still not good enough. I really don't want to sugarcoat this performance and act like it's okay and everything. No, we're starting to drop points now. We started the season on 0 points. That's not good enough. We need to be looking for better than that. We need to try and rectify it in the next few games. Just don't really think it's anything worth panicking about too much yet. Get players up to full sharpness and everything. Hopefully we're a little bit more decisive, because I don't really expect a lot of other teams in the league to give us the test that a Man City will do. Even if they have players that are just getting back to sharpness themselves. They're Man City, they're 4 Peters, all of that shit. You expect it. So just win the next few games. Because right now, this isn't good enough. It's one game we've lost, is not good enough.
The style of play, though, I mean, how would you describe the style itself?
I mean, it's good. We're dominating possession. We're being patient on the ball. I think we just need to be a bit more decisive the further we progress up the pitch. That was my problem. So many times I'm thinking release it or just have a shot, and we're just taking 2, 3, 4 extra touches. And part of me does still believe that's part of the style of play. But there needs to be an understanding of where to release the ball, and you do need to try and release it relatively quickly. Even if it is sideways, even if it is backwards, because I get you're trying to open up space. You know how to open up the space, but you don't really know how to attack the space. And that's where our problem is. That should be rectified with time. So we'll see how the next few games are. Bar Man City, it's actually a pretty decent run that we have coming up. So make the most of it. Just as of now, we didn't know what to do as soon as we had possession of the ball. Yeah,
I mean, this styles is hopefully will suit us against the low blocks because it will give us enough opportunities to get into spaces to create chances. I mean, it's the big games that I'm interested in. Obviously, we've seen City, but I think you can take it with a pinch of salt because it is the first game. But
there's come round in October, November though. Yeah. So we got to be patterned up by then at least.
I mean, there's a lot of things that happened before the game as well, Lewis, though. Maresca said, Chilwell, you need to find a new club. Sterling wasn't even in the starting 11. Forget the starting 11, he wasn't even in the squad.
So you dropped the statement too.
I know, mate, literally after 10-15 minutes, they had a statement out.
Yeah, like, ruthlessness, I don't care. Like, Chilwell, we've known for ages now he's not good enough. It is what it is. Sterling, the amount of times people complain about him and his wages, we're at least trying to act on it and be a little bit ruthless. Gallagher as well, we know the situation. By the way, I want to say our fans are an absolute embarrassment in the first half. They were an absolute joke. 1-0 down. And how do we get behind the team? Conor Gallagher. Yeah, let's chant for a guy who's not playing while we're 1-0 down. That's how you get behind the team, innit? Proper fucking Chelsea. Fucking embarrassing. And these are the same sort of fans that will look down on other fans who don't go to games regularly. They would have actually been here backing the team, doing up the Chelsea chants and actually backing the individuals on the pitch. What do? Moan and bitch about a meaty Cobham graduate who rejected free contract offers. Have shame. Have shame. Those chants were embarrassing. Get behind the team. Same energy they want to run when it's one of their favourites getting criticised. Have the same energy here. Get behind the players on the pitch while they're in the ground and while they're performing for us. Not good enough. But in terms of Chilwell and Sterling, same energy. You're not good enough. You're on overpaid wages. We want to get rid of you. We're trying to get Osimhen through the door. And this game was a brilliant example about how much we need Osimhen. So, bye-bye. Thank you for 2021, Chilwell. Sterling, just peace. Go. Find a new club. I don't care.
So you don't have a problem with it?
Ruthlessness. Ruthlessness is what takes you to the top, and ruthlessness is what keeps you at the top. It's about time we showed this level of ruthlessness about us. Don't care about any of those three. They haven't performed to the high enough expectations that we want. So, bye-bye.
Simple as that.
Literally just as simple as that. Go find another club.
What do you make of the way they're running the club, Bowley and Iqbal? I mean, there's been question marks. This for me was the defining summer. It's not over, so I'm not really going to speak too much until it is. We could still get other deals over the line. What do you make of what we're doing?
You said defining summer. To me, it's a defining season. So, like, even with the summer and even with, like, the questions over some of the transfers that we made, I'll let it cook throughout the season. End of the season, we see what's been cooking and we criticise it if it's not good enough because we can't be going 3 years without top 4. That's impossible. We can't be doing that.
And trophies as well. No trophies.
Conference League is the biggest open goal Maresca has. If you fumble that, it's up to you. That's your own fault. Cook everything in sight. But for us, like, my problem with the ownership has been simple. Manager identification. It's not been good enough. That's the reason why we've been held back for another year, because we brought Poch in last season. We should have been sitting on 4th. We should have been sitting on a Conference League, and we should already be in the Champions League. Now, because of our poor managerial identification, we've been held back a year. So, you chose, with that year being held back, to bring in an inexperienced manager. Okay, I'm going to let him simmer. I'm going to let him take his time with the squad and see where we are at the end of the season. If we don't get top 4, it's on you. It's on you. Even if we might be critical of Maresca, we might be critical of individuals on a game-by-game basis, I won't be against that. Ultimately, if we don't get top 4, it's down to Clear Lake and it's down to nobody else. So I'm not throwing my toys out the pram and match day 1. Wait. We even saw with last season how easy it is to get top 4 with just random runs of form out of nowhere. We got from 11th in April to 6th in May. So we're not asking for a lot. If we can't get into top 4, it's on Clear Lake. So wait and see. It's only match day 1.
What more do you think we need, or have we got enough?
Striker. Get Osimhen through the door. Ideally, I'd want a centre-back, but like you've already brought about 5. If you're going to get another one, then we need to sell 2.
You don't want another goalkeeper?
You man bought Jorgensen, right? That's our 10th goalkeeper. I'm expecting him to be one of the best in the league. Simple as. And if he's not, what the fuck did we buy him for? Why are we going out looking for goalkeeper number 11 if Jorgensen isn't the guy? So, I haven't even seen him play a league minute yet. Oh, wait. But you lot brought him because big potential and all of that, so I expect him to be one of the best in the league this season. If he's not, that is on Clear Lake. If we're at the end of the season and we're saying, I need another goalkeeper, that is on Clear Lake. I've got to get to the end of the season for that.
That's if he plays.
Well, he's probably going to play the way Sanchez ended that match. Maddest thing is he actually started pretty well, but bozo moments, you can't have them at the back, because when you have them at the back, 9 times out of 10 leads to a goal. So we'll see.